What's up, everyone? Thanks for joining us in this episode again. Excited today to have Nick Amari. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing great, man. How about yourself? How's life?
I'm doing good. It's good. Glad to be out here. How are you enjoying Hawaii?
Man, it's amazing, man. It's my first time, you know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
Definitely won't be my last. And
yeah.
I love it, man. It's a beautiful island, and I'm just trying to do some work and relax at the same time. You know?
Definitely. The one thing when I first got here was I was surprised at how beautiful the island is. Wasn't like overhyped.
Yeah, man. No, it's not overhyped. It's like it's so much to experience.
Yeah.
So it's like
everything,
even the least amount of hypeness is beautiful.
Yeah.
Like the things that ain't even nothing hype about it is still beautiful to see.
Yeah, absolutely. So before every episode, what I like to do is I like to give a little sample of an artist's work.
True.
So you guys can know a bit more about them and see what they make, give you a little more context as you listen to them talking, answering questions, and giving you some information about themselves and their work.
Right.
So that is going to go now. If you would rather skip that and just get straight into the talking, that time code is going to be here.
In a wonderful week, yeah, simple as that. We put our team on the map, yeah, simple as that. These haters don't know how to act, yeah, simple as that. They know that we all about to sack. Fall off, we making it back. Ain't no competition, who next? Yeah, you can see diamonds that dance on my wrist. No president, but they running against me. Tell the truth, we ain't running from anything. 38 on me, call it a six-pack. Got a chocolate bezel, a Kit Kat. Please don't run up on me, nigga, bag back. I'm in a spot where the cash at. Don't be calling my phone unless you cash at. Keep a Glock cocked like a eye socket. Chopper like a pool stick, hit on corner pocket. Ain't seen them in 2 months, then I gotta watch it. With me, it was real love, but niggas be playing. They be looking for what I got. The problem is they ain't real. I can understand you can't control your actions, but still, I can tell that you're not aware. Still, whipping it foot on the gas. I can be coming in last. I can't be stuck in the past. Make sure I get to the cash. Need about 100 in stash. Need about 100 in bags. Yeah. Gotta turn it up to the max. Gotta run it up. That's facts. Yeah. Big rocks in that piece hitting this watch, leave a nigga seasick. Riding around in that V6, but it's 9 leave you in pieces.
All right, and we're back. So yeah, man, before we got started, you were mentioning how you've been making music for quite a while. So
quite a while, man.
Can you tell me about that? How you got started, when you got started?
Man, I got started around like 14 or 15, really, man. Really because of my brother. I had an older brother that passed away, but he was like 100 times better than me. So he used to freestyle all the time, and he was like more of a like the Nas type rapper. So
yeah,
I just listened to him and watched him, and then I just started doing it because of him. He was so nice. I was like, got to be a little bit of that in me, right? So I'm like, I just started doing it, man, and I found out that it was a lot of it in me. So you know what I'm saying? So I just kept going because of him, and especially like after he passed, that's all I had left to do to make something worth of his passing is to keep going.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? Bees like that sometimes, you know. So when you lose people, it's like you wasting they loss. Like you're wasting them leaving if you don't continue doing what you need to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like it's a waste. Like why you're not making nothing worth of it. So I try not to waste nobody. That makes sense. Yeah.
Damn. So you continuing your career is kind of like honoring him, and
yeah, and at the same time, it's like it has kept me alive through all my times where I shouldn't have been alive. You know what I mean? Like it's deep, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been doing it so long, like ups and downs, and like from having nothing, like and still doing it consistently, like I had something. You know what I mean? Like from sleeping in cars and shit like that, and still never missing a beat like I was. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Any other person. Because that's what kept me going, and not thinking about how I was, thinking about what I needed to do to get through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn. So it's really like it was there in your lowest and worst times.
Yeah. It's like my child. My career is like my child. It's like I can't just leave it stranded.
Yeah.
You know, I raised this. I birthed it and raised it. So it's like now it's helping me out.
Yeah. Yeah. There's some. I feel like that's a really distinguishing mark and
True.
sign of somebody who's. It just means more because
yes, man.
There's a lot. You see it in everything, not just music, but in anything. When the hard times come, if it just isn't that important to you, everything will go away. If it's not, everything falls away if it's not important to you when the hard times come.
Right, man. And like certain people don't know how to make it through hard times because they always looking for help. When it's like the help you need, you already got it. You just got to activate it and pull it out of yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's okay, like, to have a passion for things. That's how you know you really got a passion, is when you can sit it down and then get back to it later and just pick up where you left off and stuff like that. But some people either think stuff's supposed to be perfect or they're going to quit. So it's like, you got to be able to know when it's time to, okay, I got to put this down for a minute and handle this business. But it's still your passion while you're not doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's 2 points that I think about a lot that I love that you bring up. The one is feeling like everything has to be perfect.
Yes.
That is a big thing that I don't know about you, but I had to work on that, where whatever I was doing, if it wasn't, I would try something. Right. It wasn't amazing. It was bad, Yeah. Where I'm like, damn, I can't believe I just made that. I'm embarrassed at that. Yeah. Some work like that where I don't even want to put it out because it's so bad or something.
You can't be embarrassed, man.
Yeah.
You got to, like, everything that you need, man, you already got it. But people just don't know how to see that. You know what I'm saying? They always think that somebody else should help them when it's like nobody owes you nothing. You know what I mean? So you got to know that even if you try something and it don't turn out like you expected, if you love it, you got to keep trying it. You know what I mean? And it'll definitely get there, because I can look at my music now and when I first started, and it's like I can see like even when I first started, I probably felt like, damn, this the hardest shit I ever made. You know what I'm saying? But now I'm like,
yeah.
It's never, but I've always felt like that every year.
Yeah.
So it's like, but I can see the progression, and I can see that shit. Just, I don't know how to explain it, man. It's just a great feeling to see, to have love for yourself and what you do without even caring if people feel the same way.
Yeah. Yeah. Once. I don't know at what point that happened for you, if it was, or if it was natural. But that was an amazing like revelation for me, was figuring out that my work and the value of my work depends on nothing but me. And
true.
Just being able to appreciate it for being there and for being a culmination of all the work I've put into it over the years.
Right.
When I could have given up in certain points, you know? It's just, that's awesome.
It's mind blowing, man, for real. And it's like, that's why you should value everything that you're doing. It's like, even to, like you just said earlier, like the things that you know you need to, like a better equipment or anything that you know you need. It's like, it's like you're running the whole company by yourself and stuff. So it's like sometimes you got to be different, play different roles and stuff. But that's what keeps your life going and lets you meet people to fill in those spaces for you. Because that's how I've been running my life. Like, it's a whole company. Because I've been on a major label before.
Yeah.
So I know how things run and things do, and I just know what's supposed to be done. And if there is the help, thank you, and I'm cool with that. But if there is not, I'm gonna do it myself.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I feel like that is a great point of always looking for help can very easily become a crutch.
Yeah.
To where you're not able to break down and figure out in those hard times, figure out what you're doing wrong and what's keeping you from improving and from reaching that next level. And those aren't easy to, at least for me, those weren't easy questions to ask and answer.
True.
You know, because it's kind of like having to break down everything that is in your mind comfortable and safe for you to know.
Yeah.
And you got to kind of jump out into the open world of being like, okay, I got to accept that if shit's not working out right now for whatever I want, like
right.
I could get help and somebody could come along and help me and I'd be helped and it might work out good. But like then in the future, if that happens again, I'm not going to know how to get out.
Yeah. And it's like, you can ask for help or look for help, but you have to be already your own help at the same time. And it's like, yeah, I'm looking for help while I'm helping myself. So it's like, I try to help myself so much that I'm too busy to look for help. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I have to slow myself down. Like, well, let me see, just see who wants to help. And if not, I get back to helping myself. So it's kind of different ways for different people, but that's just how my life is played out and that's how it's been. So I had no choice at a moment but to be my only help. So
yeah,
it kind of feels good now. You know what I mean? And at the same time, we all would like somebody to do something, and sometimes it be people that you might have done a lot for that you think just owe you help, but at the same time, people are people and not everybody's gonna reciprocate what you've done, and being mad about that is slowing you down from figuring out what you need to do.
Yeah. I feel like in my mind that having to help yourself up because nobody else is you can't ever expect anybody else to be there is crucial for consistency. Because the more you do that and the more you are in situations where you're forced to acknowledge that,
true,
then it's just in the future, it'll slow you up less and less each time when it's similar issues.
Yeah,
you know, right. It's like anything. The more you practice something, the better you get at it.
Yeah, man. That's how it is. So,
yeah. I also feel like I have had to learn how to accept help and along with that, like, work with people.
Yeah.
Because when I started, even really just up until now, I'm learning how to work with people because I've always just done everything on my own. And
a lot of times, man, in my point of view, like a lot of people have a lot of ideas for you or a lot of help could come, but it's hard to tell if it's help because once you get to working with certain people, you still end up doing everything.
Yeah.
And they just sitting there throwing out ideas, but you're the one that's really doing it all anyway. But just because they gave you the idea, they think that that's help. When it's like, but I don't know, man. It's like help really is each person going out doing what they need to do and bringing it back for the group.
Yeah.
Not piling everything on the best person, but acting like their group.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's how it's been in my position. So it's like typically I be the person that's kind of staying on task, staying on track, getting things done, and it just outshines in a way everybody else, and which makes it just, I don't know, it just makes people feel a certain type of way just because I'm so on point with my doing things. So I just, I didn't choose to be alone. It just happened this way.
Yeah.
You feel me? But it's great, man.
Yeah. So for you, what does that look like? So when you say you didn't choose to be alone, it just kind of worked out that way.
Yeah.
For one reason or another. What does that look like for you as an artist?
As in like
specifically career oriented, not so much having a group or a team.
Man, see, people can look at it like he don't want a team, he don't want a group, but it's like that's not true, because I've worked with a lot of people and in a lot of groups, but it's like in a way it seems like everybody kind of feels a certain type of way because I'm not acting like they act or thinking like they think. You know what I mean? It's like I'm kind of trying to keep things professional, and they ain't even as serious as I am.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. Until I find a good group that's serious, we can handle some business. But I've given a lot of people, and I've given a lot of people, as in like even friends and stuff, a chance. But it's like this train got to keep on rolling. You know what I mean? So I can't really just because you ain't got serious and had to go through things to make you serious. I can't wait on that. But you know, as far as your question though, man, it could be more helpful if you know what I'm saying, with a team, because a team is always good for promotion and stuff like that. But that's the thing, is like I'm not stopping nobody from supporting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But some people just feel how they feel and stick to who kind of praises them.
Yeah. It hurts a lot when the need for the train to keep moving, like you said, kind of forces you to get rid of, or like just not be able to spend time with some people.
True.
And not even like related to career shit, but other people in your life who may not understand why.
Yeah.
The train has to just keep moving, metaphorically.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't really have time to stop at that many stations or do shit. That sucks. One thing though that interests me, which I'm always kind of at a loss for, is in situations when I am that stop, you know, in whatever group I'm in, or whatever, if it's just one person, they're full on steaming ahead. And then I can recognize in a situation where I'm like, okay, I just like, there's some people who I work with or have worked with where I can't really work with them too much because it just slows me down.
Right.
In situations where I can recognize I am that slow down, you know? What's your kind of advice on how to catch up, or in those situations, what do you do?
As far as like, I'm trying to see how to put it. You mean like just trying to, when you have to deal with people that you don't want to?
No, in the opposite of when you're working with people who you can tell are more experienced than you, more skilled than you, and have more push and are working harder than you.
I mean, I think like you should just appreciate the fact that you are working with people like that.
Yeah.
Meaning, like, you know what I mean? You shouldn't feel bad about it, because they want to work with you. You know what I'm saying? So they're not even looking at it how you're looking at it. So you should really see yourself as, damn, everybody got their own pace. You know what I'm saying? So for your pace, you're doing much more than you think you are. But you know, that's why you can't really look at it, the next person, and think about they might have more opportunities than you because they have more help. You know what I'm saying? So you have to just appreciate that they see some value in you to work with you. You know what I'm saying? Because they wouldn't even work with you if you weren't doing shit. If you feel like they're farther than you, they would see you as beneath them when you're not. So it's like you really on the same level for that moment. And you can just take it as motivation and just step it up when you can for yourself. But it's like it's nothing to compare, really, in my view.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's a really good mindset to have. That's kind of like telling how you just walked into that situation that I described differently than how I was even thinking about the question.
True, man.
Because you didn't. I like that you didn't even really. The question I was asking, I respect that you didn't even like. How you first acknowledged that the question within itself was wrong.
Yeah, see,
damn.
Sometimes you gotta cut that shit off right there, and it's only one way to look at things, and that's the best way. You know what I'm saying?
Interesting. So,
you feel me?
How important in your mind is having a positive and forward-moving attitude?
It's very important for me because I don't allow nothing that I don't want. You know what I'm saying? So it's not something that I have to try to do every day. Like I have to try to be positive. I have to try to do it. I don't have to try. I just don't allow nothing that I don't want in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like I know how to deal with, like I've been through certain situations where, you know, people or try to humiliate you or do certain things, but I know how to react on things, and your reaction is what determines who you are. You know what I'm saying? So that when you get into situations, how you react, that's what determines who you are. So if you can get into something or ignore something, that's when you should be proud of yourself. Like, damn, I'm getting there. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. Is that something that you feel like it's just a personality trait you have, or do you feel like that's from experience?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think it's always been a personality trait, but the experience is what brings it out of you.
Yeah.
Because if it wasn't a personality trait, those experiences would have took me down a different road. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't have that personality trait. That
you'd react differently in those.
Yeah. So, you know, it's a little bit of both, but I definitely think that all of my experiences saved me, and like I wouldn't change nothing that I've ever went through.
Yeah. What would you suggest to an up-and-coming artist or creative or anything? How would you suggest they have a mindset towards viewing their own work?
I would say be true and be real to yourself. True enough and real enough to know if your shit is not like that. Meaning, like, you can only judge your work if you understand if it's good or not. Because certain people don't need to do stuff, and you know what I'm saying? You got to know, like, this ain't that. You know what I'm saying? To be real with yourself instead of trying to force something that ain't your best work to be good. You know what I'm saying? You got to know when it's not your best and be true and learn that, instead of trying to think that whatever you do, people supposed to see it like you see it. You know what I mean? You have to be true to yourself and even know when your shit is great work. To know when, even if people don't feel like it's great, you still know that it was great work without the confirmation of somebody else.
Yeah. But, and if say somebody is listening to this right now,
right,
up and coming artist or creative or anything, and they hear you say that, and they reflect on themselves and they think, all right, for me, they pause the video. Is my work there? Is it there?
Yeah.
and they look at themselves and they're like, I don't think it is. What would you say to them then?
Keep going. Never stop. Keep going. Never quit. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way to continue this life is keep going. No matter if it's in your career or music or whatever you're doing, but even in your regular day-to-day life, just keep going. You know what I mean? Nothing's ever that bad where you need to quit. Just keep going.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I don't give a fuck what happened. You never quit.
Yeah. So earlier you were talking about how you feel like it's a mix of kind of personality and just like your character and how you are and your experiences, because your experiences bring that out of you.
Yeah.
So do you think that, try to think about how I want to phrase this. So everybody kind of has a different personality, you know. No two people are the same.
Right.
And then people might be similar, have similar traits. Nobody's exactly the same though. So I guess, do you think that there's personality traits to where if they encounter a situation, and it might be the same situation for different people, but do you think there's kind of just like winning personality traits and losing personality traits?
Not necessarily. I mean, in a way, it is, but that comes from. In a way, it is, but it's like you can. Certain people have losing personality traits because of just the way they live their whole life and their lack of trying to better themselves. So it's like, that could have been a winning personality trait if you learned from your mistakes, but certain people just never change, so that makes a losing personality trait. But at the same time, certain people just don't know. They haven't been through enough to really know how to see winning personality traits or to feel like a winner or anything like that, because it takes some pain to really get you there. You know what I mean? And if you ain't really been through a lot of pain, somebody telling you what you need to do, like if you ain't been through a lot of hard, like nobody wants to go through hardships and stuff like that, but if you haven't been through a lot, it's harder to force yourself to be different.
Yeah.
Because that pain forces it for you. And so it's like, it's easier to go through pain, if that makes sense. It's painful, but it's easier because you don't have to force yourself to change. It's gonna do it for you. Yeah. and that could change you into the better or the worse. Depends on how you react on it. Because you can slow yourself down by being mad at your situation too long. It's like, okay, it is like this. This is how it is. So what you gonna do next?
Yeah.
Keep going.
I feel like there's an interesting combination of two aspects of someone's life. From what you were saying of just not giving up and bettering yourself, continuing, moving forward. That, when you combine it with you have a goal or like a reason for something, I feel like that's when it's dangerous, because you're going to be moving at a fast speed, you know?
Yeah.
You're going to be succeeding, making progress, you know? That's when you're really in it. Because I feel like if you don't have sort of a purpose or a goal or a place you're trying to be,
right,
or a state you're trying to reach, then even if you have that, not give up.
You gotta, I mean, cut you off, but it's like, you have to see your own success. You know what I mean? You have to know when you are successful without trying to judge it and compare it to what you're looking for. Like, I don't even understand how people just be like, they just looking at success like you have to be on top top 5 records on Billboard or something on TV every day. You have to be on Drake status to be successful. And it's like, you got to know what you've been through and made it through and conquered to know your own success. You can, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I'm successful myself right now, and it's like my success is being able to do what I want to do every day, and at my own speed and on my own time, and that's what I do. So it's like I can do whatever I need to do, just like anybody else can, and that's successful to me. So instead of just looking at it like, because I see a lot of people, they be like, man, we gonna get in the door, we gonna make it. I'm like, you should feel like I guess you don't think you made it yet, but it's like you should be proud of the things that you've done to know that you made it when you made it, instead of judging it off of what the world thinks. You know what I'm saying? Like, the world don't think I made it yet, so I ain't made it. You're supposed to know yourself.
Yeah. So that is a mindset that I have been trying to kind of grow in myself for a while now, is being able to look at how I've progressed and understand that progression is success within itself.
True.
And not devalue myself because I haven't reached the goals that I have, because those goals, they just keep moving as you succeed. Right.
And it's like you're chasing something that you
like, so you're never satisfied.
Right. So it's like you have to keep going to see to keep going while valuing your previous success. You know what I'm saying? And it's always more to come. Like, seeing, like, you know what I'm saying, valuing that success doesn't mean that you just like, all right, I can chill. All right. You know what I'm saying? You're always working harder towards better things. And just to know that passion and that fight in yourself is success. So it's like, you got to just know, I'm never going to quit. So that's being successful.
Yeah.
Because I know, like, you know, it's hard to explain, man, but the key word is never quit. You feel me?
Yeah. No, that's there's not many feelings like that when you can look back and understand that the work that you're putting in and the work that you have put in, when you're doing it, sometimes you can feel like lost, like, oh my God, there's like, I don't know what I'm doing, I don't know anything, and it feels like just stumbling around. And then looking back after you've done it for a while, after you've been consistent, and seeing, oh, when I was lost and confused and I didn't know what I was doing or why I was doing it, that all had a purpose, and it drove me towards success, to a place I want to be.
True. That's the best moment in life. Where people don't understand. It's like those moments where you really trying hard and you just don't know what to do is the moments where things happen.
Yeah. So it sounds like you have really cultivated that ability to appreciate your successes and value them, and recognize that what you've done has value and is a definition of success.
True.
So a lot of people, including myself, are sometimes doing like what you've been talking about, chasing success rather than taking that drive from your past. So where are you moving towards? Because, you know, there's some people who, like, going back to that mindset and that character, where they have success, and some people, you know, would like rest on their laurels, where they're like, oh, I've done this, I'm good, I'm chilling, and that motivation and that drive would kind of disappear, you know? So it's clearly not disappeared for you.
Nah, because I just focus on the moment more than chasing. I mean, more than looking towards something. I focus on, because I know I'm gonna never quit. So it's like I focused on each moment to make sure that I don't miss things for those moments. Because if I'm focused too much on going towards something, I'm missing the things that's gonna get me there. So I focus on the moment so I won't miss those things, and I know that's gonna get me to whatever is forward. That I know is forward. I know things are forward, but in order to get there, you have to pay attention to each moment. Yeah.
How do you do that? Just be present in the moment and focus on the moment.
Living through your passion and living through yourself and listening to Christ. You know what I'm saying? And just putting faith in yourself and just continuing doing things that don't have nothing to do with your passion, like little things that don't have nothing to do with what you are working towards or what you're good at, like just doing things for your family and doing things for yourself, and just smaller things. Pay attention to the small things and noticing the good in other people. You know what I'm saying? It's a big help.
Interesting.
Without thinking that you're just great, you know what I'm saying? Noticing greatness in other people is like, makes you happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. So when you say that it's important to do things for yourself and do things not related to your career, what does that mean, and like why is that valuable for somebody who is pursuing a passion?
Because because those things is what helps you get, how do I want to say this? Let me see. It's like sometimes you can do certain things, even like helping other people out. Those things is what builds your value and stuff like that, to be able to get recognized for the things that, like, you get a lot of love from people that you don't know and stuff like that, but I don't know, I just like helping people, man. Let me put it like this. I just like to do things for other people and to help people just come back to life when they're drained of and don't know what to do. I just like to give life to people, and that don't have nothing to do with me doing music or acting or nothing like that. So it's like sometimes this type of stuff I do for people, man, it's like I give them all my energy sometimes, because I know I can get it back when I get back to doing what I do with my passion. It comes right back. So it's like, I don't know, it just builds me up to do things that don't have nothing to do with music sometimes, because I know I'm great at that. So it's like I like to spread my greatness around to different people at different times, and that makes sense, you know.
So on this topic of helping people and being there for people, lifting other people up, one thing that I forget at what point people mentioned it to me and kind of put this thought into my head, but somebody at one point gave me the idea of, in my position to be able to help artists as much as I can, it's important for me to work on myself and improve myself and be better and focus time on myself, so that I can specifically, like for this and for music videos, so that I can offer people a much better product and a better platform and everything. But I know that, so I started looking at it like that more. But I know that can give me the tendency to get caught up to where I am only focusing on myself, you know, and I hate when I catch it, and I've been like that for a while, where I'm like, damn, I feel like I've been improving a lot and I've been working, but what value and what besides any type of content, any type of media value, any type of service like that, what value have I given people's personal lives to where at the end of the day they'll go home and either be happier, they'll be more energetic, more driven, more content, more secure in themselves, you know? What advice would you have? Or anything thoughts on that?
I mean, if you can't answer that question, I would think like you need to just.
Do you think it's something that can be like practiced and improved upon, or do you think it's a personality trait that people are born with?
Nah, it's always something that can be practiced and improved upon. You know what I mean? But you have to, as far as working on yourself, you have to give yourself the credit of being better. You have to already know that you're better to be that way. If you always think you're working towards something, you're never getting there.
Yeah.
You have to feel like you're already better to really to notice the better. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't think that I'm working on being better forever. So you're gonna be forever working on it. You gotta feel like I am already better to notice your betterness.
Yeah.
Because you're never gonna notice it if you feel like you're always working towards it, and then you'll have things to offer people other than your services because you see your better. Like, it'll just come naturally and stuff like that. You can see what people need without them even asking. So it's like you have the right advice for somebody, or you'll just see. I don't know. It's kind of like I just can read people so good. It's like I just know I can read you. I ain't gonna say I can read your mind, but I'm just saying, like, I just feel people so deeply because I got a lot of compassion. So it's like it's just gotten to that point for me where it's not even hard to do, and it's like that's what drives me to keep on doing, because I can do music in my sleep. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like that shit is in my heart. So I don't know. I just like to do that. But as far as your case, I mean, it would definitely get there, and I think the more you want to do it, the more it'll come out.
Yeah.
And at the right times and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. That was one thing that I had to. It was kind of a switch that turned off for me, because I was growing up and everything. I was raised in a very like Protestant Christian Midwest religious family, so it was all about like service and caring for other people and everything. Mm-hmm. And all throughout high school and everything, it was like that. And I was really caring for other people, and that was where a lot of my attention would lie. And then I kind of like, as it became not just me, as in like my girl, when I started caring about her more deeply at the beginning of our relationship and everything, and then when she moved out here, it was almost like it kind of turned something off in me where it was no longer just about me. Mm-hmm. It was because I was willing to sacrifice for me, like from myself for other people. But then when she was in the picture, it was almost like I felt myself turn, I don't want to say cold-hearted, but like I was a lot less willing to sacrifice anything that might affect her. And I didn't like that, because I know it's not I know it's like a circle to where if I let myself go down that road, it's going to end up negatively affecting myself and her because then if I'm closing myself off towards other people, then it's like eventually that's going to make me just a selfish, cold person. Right. And then who wants to spend time around someone like that? It just affects everybody around negatively.
I feel you.
I don't know. It's something that that I like think about and try and assess where I'm at every now and then. I've had to work to be more how I used to be, almost break down walls and stuff like that, and be willing to
go out, like do different things. You mean like just to take different risks that you are comfortable taking by yourself, but thinking about
Yeah.
the next person, it's like,
Yeah.
that's kind of how I'm saying. I be like that sometimes. I don't want to do nothing that's going to affect nobody in my family or nothing like that, or my son or nothing like that. So I have to pinpoint the things that I do with a purpose. But I know that there is a lot of things out there that you have to do without knowing the results of it. But you just got to know that it's going to work out the best way possible. Even if it doesn't work out, that was the best way. You know what I'm saying? Like, even when things don't go good, like, I don't mind trying things and they don't go the way I wanted it to go, because that lets me know I ain't need to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'd rather tell me right now than fake it, and it gets me, you know what I'm saying? I think I get in deeper problems down the line because I didn't need to do it. I like when things tell me right off the bat that I don't need to do it. So that could be when things fall through or when things go right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
are you talking with that where you like when it's up front, if something's the right direction for you to walk down? Are you talking specifically, does that apply to like career and personal life, or what are you thinking about that?
Yeah, both of them, career and personal life, because I mean, like, even when you dealing with people and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Like it could be a person that say wants to do an interview with you, and you really don't feel like they're serious enough to or on your level of seriousness. You know what I'm saying? Because I take my things that I do with people seriously. So if I don't really want to waste my time playing around with somebody who really ain't serious, who just want to use my skills.
Yeah.
Meaning, you know what I'm saying? So you have to be willing to you have to know that you really don't want to waste your time, but still be willing to do it. And then it's like 9 times out of 10, it won't happen no way, because you didn't want to do it already. You already knew you didn't want to do it, and it's like just like you can give them the opportunity, and they will mess it up anyway, because it's like, and that just gives you the confirmation that you didn't need to do it no way, because they won't see it. Like, it just tells you what you need to know when you know what you want to do first.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You so that knowing what you want to do and how you want things to play out gives you the opportunity to do things that you don't want to do, because it's still gonna play out the way that you already knew in your heart. But if that makes sense, you know what I'm saying? I
it does.
Get a little deep into my talking, but
because that still leaves the room for it to go opposite of the way that you feel. Because like you're saying, 9 times out of 10, it won't happen.
It won't happen, and the only thing that can happen is they impress you or change what you thought, and if that happens, then that's good. That means that they changed or grew up a little bit. But it's like, a lot of times, man, when you know what you need and what you don't need, even doing things that you don't want to do will work out for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been in a lot of situations where it's like bad things happen, but they happen in the best way possible. It's like, so that's why it's like, I know anything bad that happens is going to happen the best way, if that makes sense. It's like, because things happen, they could be much worse though. So it's like, a lot of things that happen the best way possible.
Yeah.
But it was bad, but the best way it could have went worse.
Yeah.
The best way it could have been bad. You know what I'm saying? Because like, I've even flipped my car one time, and it's like, oof, I flipped it the best way I could. Meaning, like, how I had the accident was the best way you can flip a car. Because I'm here.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who flip cars who aren't here.
But yeah, man, you know, it's a thing that you have to pull out yourself, and you have to be comfortable with yourself and understand yourself to really get out of that space of fighting to feel like you have to, like you're struggling to do something, like you're struggling to get better at something. And a lot of times it can't do with people that you're around every day and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Because it's hard to do things different and be better if you're around people that's just distracting you every day from doing that.
Yeah.
Because they're not thinking about it. So, but at the same time, like I said, you have to give yourself some credit about the little things that you have done better.
Yeah.
And appreciating that. And great things will come.
Yeah. I really appreciate that, at least in like a creative field like this, where it's so easy to make improvements. There's so many concrete like improvement steps. At least in music, I think it might be more, I don't know if it's more difficult to make improvements, but in something like this, in music videos, videography, interviews, where there's so much like technical stuff.
Yeah.
It's so easy to always be making improvements, because there's so much shit that's black and white.
Right.
And then there's the other side where it's learning theory and learning how to properly utilize it, where there's no book that can tell you, okay, in this situation where I'm in right now, what's the best move. But I really appreciate how throughout the entire time I've been doing this, or whatever creative field related to this, that every failure I've had, or every mistake I've had, or every fuck up I've done, it's like every single one of them I can concretely look back at, and just, it's so clear the lesson that they were teaching me, and whether I learned it quickly or whether it took me a while looking back on it.
Right.
That's something that I appreciate, that like whoever was around me at some point, whoever instilled it in me, was able to instill, or wherever I happened to be, to learn it. I'm appreciate that I was lucky enough to learn that, to be able to learn from failures.
Hell yeah, man. Like, even the way you can sit and just think about how you are is a step further than somebody who's not thinking about nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because the majority of people is out here just focused on the world and worldly things, and they don't even care about who they are, because they don't try to find out who they are. They just make up something and go with it. So, you know what I'm saying? Even to have the deep need to think about your past and appreciate your past is a step towards, like we said, like just a step toward the more success that's in the future. So you're doing a great job, man. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate it.
So even the will to get better is all you need, and
yeah.
You definitely got it.
Yeah, what keeps me thinking about it and evaluating my decisions and my actions and how I view situations, my perspective, because that matters a lot, is just when people say that, like, the first step for an addict to recover is to admit there's a problem.
Yeah, you gotta take accountability for yourself and be true to yourself.
Yeah. And then just like you've been saying, being able to be comfortable and just happy with yourself and know the successes you have and know who you are. Right. That was another thing for me, is one, after being able within myself to recognize that there's a problem in whatever situation, then another step being able to say, okay, I know from my past successes that if I put the work and the time in, which True. I'm going to keep doing,
yeah,
then I'm going to be able to improve. Once those few steps come together, it kind of reaches, for me, it reached a point where it was like, okay, now it all came together to where it strengthened me to where I don't care what else is going on as much anymore, or what what else people are trying to project onto me or into my situation or into the world, where it's like, one, I know there's a problem in any situation I'm doing. I know I'm not perfect. I know there's a problem.
Right.
So if I can sit down and take some time and recognize what, in any given situation, what the problem is, then even though I have a problem, recognize everybody does.
True.
But so it just matters how you keep moving forward, and you're gonna get better. So it's okay, it's okay to not, like you said at the beginning, it's okay to not be perfect.
Yeah, man, it's okay. You gotta, you just gotta keep moving forward, knowing that nobody's perfect. So it's like you consistency and just the urge, the hunger and the will to not stop in any situation that's hard makes it like nothing. It makes you not scared of nothing, because like I can get through anything, but it takes some things of getting through to get to that point. Yeah, like if you never really got through nothing, you can't really feel that way. So you have to value the things that you've been through in your past, that you made it through, and know that nothing can stop you. So it's like, that's what makes you better, knowing that you ain't gonna let nothing stop you from getting there.
So you mentioned the word hunger,
right,
at the beginning of that sentence. So I don't know why my scatterbrain jumps everywhere. When you said that word, it immediately popped up. I was like, that's the word.
Yes.
There's a hunger in this.
A hunger.
And then when my mind thinks that, I'm like, it goes to a million different places. And one thing that kind of popped out to me is, all right, so when you're hungry, what do you want to do? You want to eat.
Right.
And when you eat, it's like, if you're hungry, you get some food, that food's going to taste so good.
So good.
No matter what it is.
Yep.
And that's kind of like, you know how people say there's no happy days without the bad ones, without the sad days.
Yeah.
And there's no good food without being hungry.
Right. So it's like, when you got a hunger for what you do, every time you do it, it's gonna be good for you. It's gonna nourish you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's gonna increase your health because you was hungry for it. That's what keeps me going, because I don't know, I just stay hungry for everything that I do.
So nobody can be born without being hungry or thirsty. Everybody needs food to survive.
True.
But from my perspective, it looks like there's people who are born without a hunger for something else that's not food, whether it be music or something else. And that seems so
sad,
awful. Yeah. Not, and I can't, but then I feel bad saying that, because that almost makes me feel like I'm putting myself above someone else. No. So my justification for that is, I don't think it's something that anybody can take, at least in my mind, that someone can take credit for, that they have a hunger for something. Do you think that's something you're born with, or what?
Man, like I say, everybody has the ability to be great within themselves.
Yeah.
So it's like, everybody has that. Everybody could have the hunger that they want, but they've never been pushed to be hungry, because they have so much around them that they're never hungry. You know what I mean? Like when we were speaking on in the food perspective, if you never went without, it's hard to know. It's hard to be hungry. You know what I'm saying? People never been without things, so they don't have to put their they don't have the drive that other people do that have been starving. You know what I mean? So it's like, if you ain't never starved, you don't know what hunger is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And some people ain't, so. But they could be. It just took a lot of things. When I first started doing music, I was probably doing it like the majority of people today, just doing it, trying to get on a major label and trying to be noticed by the masses. But as many losses that I've took and people that I've lost, and like my father and my brother and all these people and my friends and stuff like that, those things are what kind of gave me more hunger. By losing my father, my brother, those things is what made that hunger really meaningful and like, you know what I'm saying? So it takes some things like that to really see that you've been playing around and to stop playing around. You know what I mean? So
yeah. So I wanted to kind of pivot directions here.
Yep.
Because I saw on your page, and you mentioned it once, acting.
True.
Your IMDB was in your page, right?
Yes, sir.
So what type of acting experience do you have?
Oh man, I got a lot of experience. I've been acting since like 2010. So it's like I've been in three movies and web series and like TV show on TV1.
Damn.
So I really started, I ain't gonna lie, I started as an extra a long time ago on a show called, I don't know if you remember, One Tree Hill.
Oh yeah.
It was a show called One Tree Hill. I was an extra on there with like Rick Fox and shit. But I got into the movies in like 2010 or something like that. And I've done like 3 that's been like nationwide, and they're independent films, but they're still been all over the place, and I love it. It's like my second child.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I actually got another role I'm doing soon on another TV show when I get back to the mainland. So
hell yeah, I can't. My girl likes One Tree Hill a lot, so I'm gonna tell her that.
for real. Yeah, that was like a long time ago when I did that.
Yeah.
I probably just got out of high school when I did that.
Yeah. So one of the things that comes to mind with all this, and I ask this question pretty regularly, is time.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have trouble with how you manage your time and how many hours in a day there are?
Not at all, because I put all my focus on doing whatever is necessary for the moment, and that just like cancels out anything that's not necessary. So as long as I spent my time doing what's necessary, it was beneficial. I didn't miss nothing for that day. You know what I mean? Like, it really don't. I don't have no problem like balancing out my time, because I'm always putting importance in the, how you want to say it, like, if I can't do something, I just can't do it because I'm doing something else that is more important than that.
Yeah.
So if you know, it's gotta go how it need to go. It's nothing that I gotta fight to do like that. So, you know.
Yeah. So then, throughout this super long time and all your experience, what would you say has been the hardest thing for you to get to where you are now?
Probably wasting a lot of time with people, like, only because I had no choice. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of times when I have been like homeless before, so it's like just not having nowhere to be and having to be around people took took me longer to get where I need to be, because I had no choice but to be around these people that was holding me back. So I mean, other than that, I mean, everything else was just a will to get there, like knowing that it's on its own time. You know what I'm saying? When you get somewhere in life, it's on its own time. You can try to speed things up, but it's really on its own time. You just got to do what you need to do on the way to it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So the camera batteries died for people watching. The camera batteries died. We got up, switched all the batteries, paused, and then of course we got talking for like 20 something minutes.
Right, but you know.
And a lot of the conversation was focused on bringing value and how you can bring value to whatever you're doing. So what would you suggest to people coming up? Because that's not really something I thought about too much when I started, was bringing value. You know, my mind was on like specific stuff when I started. It was like, how the fuck do I work this camera?
Yeah, you got to start like that. You just got to start doing it, and bringing value to it really comes later. You really got to start doing random shit, trying to just see something, some substance or something to then bring value to the substance. You know what I'm saying? You got to build up some substance to bring value to it. So you got to start off just doing shit without thinking about bringing the value, because you're trying to just build it up. Yeah. So, you know, but after you get a power compilation of things together, and you've been consistent so long, that's when you can look at everything on the table and then start to bring value to it after that.
That kind of goes in to what you were saying at the beginning of the interview, is sitting down and asking yourself, is this it? Is it there? Because you can't, like, even no matter what you think, if your stuff has value, if your skills have value to somebody else or to whatever you're doing, then they do, and if they don't, they don't.
Right. You know. So
I guess that kind of goes into that.
Yeah, because you can waste a lot of time just lying to yourself.
Yeah.
Trying to fake being something you're not. So, and sometimes you can do stuff and learn how to do it better, even if you start out not good at it. You know what I'm saying? You really just want to teach yourself how to do it. So that's good too. But a lot of people just got to be real with themselves, man. They lie to themselves too much, and they waste a lot of time in life lying to themselves. So once you stop lying to yourself, you can save that time and put your effort into things that are necessary without just doing a whole bunch of shit and getting old, and now you done missed your opportunities for what you was really good at because you lying to yourself trying to do something that you're not. But you know, you live and you learn.
Do you think people should invest their time in skills they're already good at and already have kind of a platform and a base, or what they enjoy more?
I think what they enjoy more, because if you enjoy it and love it and really got a true passion for it in your heart, I mean, you obviously got a skill for it. So it's like, it's really a 2-for-1. You're putting your time and you're investing in both of them instead of just what you gotta. Because if you love it, man, you gotta put your time into that and invest into that instead of just doing something. I don't see how you can just put more time into something that you don't love. I don't know. It don't work like that for me. You know what I'm saying? I love what I do. Yeah. That's why I put all my effort into it and all my time into it. So you gotta just be thankful. Be thankful for the things that you have in life as well.
Yeah, that was something that I was kind of forced to think about at some point in this whole process. Was I would be like, yeah, I love making music videos. I love working with artists at the beginning, and I wasn't really doing it too much. I wasn't like working that much with it. So then there would come a point where I'd be like, okay, I haven't done anything. I've just been wasting time. And then I'd be like, do I really love it? And then at the beginning, my answer was always, yeah, I love it. And then the question would be like, well, why are you not doing more with it? And I don't know why the answer was. I think I was just kind of making excuses, because then it came a point where I'm like, yeah, I do love this. Okay, well, let me jump onto this. And it might have been whatever, where I'm just not a social person. I'm a homebody, like I said in like one of the past interviews, a couple of them, where I don't like going out too much or doing shit. But then like I would do it and have a great fucking time, and then just
right.
It would increase it. And it's like exponential growth, where I would enjoy that so much more or whatever. And then eventually, even if you have like an interest in something, I feel like that's not the same as having a passion for it. It's when you act on an interest that it really becomes like a love and a passion.
Right. Because you can have multiple passions, you know what I'm saying? It's just sometimes when you do have multiple passions, that means one of your passions got to wait. So that's not mean you don't love it. It just got to wait till I circle back around to it.
Yeah.
Because I got a lot of passions, you know what I'm saying? That's how I be. Like, you have to circle around the things, and like that don't mean that you don't love it or you're not good at it just because you're not doing it at the moment. It's just like you got sometimes to do it better, you got to step away from it a little bit and do something else, even if that's something else is an interest or a passion. You kind of got to step away from it to value it, come back to it, and know you really love it.
Yeah,
because you missed it. You know what I mean? So
yeah, it's interesting how that works, of stepping away from something to pursue another passion, like you said, of time management. If you did something that is valuable to you, then the time is not wasted.
It's not wasted
at all.
So I've
been, for a while now, I've been putting so much time and effort and energy into these interviews. I haven't shot a music video in a long time. But after so long of so much energy put into this, I started to see like rewards and personal growth from this whole process of doing interviews, talking with artists, getting knowledge from people, to where then it came to a point where I was like, oh, and some shit just clicked and I wanted to jump back into it. And like now it helped me with just figuring shit out, taking shit more seriously, taking those tiny little steps to improve, understanding that shit's not going to be perfect, but it just matters how you keep going forward.
How you keep moving and going forward.
Yeah, man, that's cool. And it's because I was worried that like stepping away from something and pursuing something else, it's like, well, that's going to get worse. And you might be a little rusty going back to technical shit, but that'll come back like riding a bike.
Hell yeah. For sure.
And then you'll have those that compounded growth.
Yeah. You're right.
So, did I cut you off?
No. You're right. I'm just thinking about what you said. Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the questions that popped up into my mind was, you've talked a lot about how you just really, it was in the question of, should somebody pursue something they're already good at and already have talent and a base in, or should they pursue something that they might not be good at but it interests them and they have a passion in? You mentioned how, and it wasn't the first time in this interview, you said how you pursue what makes you happy, and you don't get how somebody could pursue something that doesn't make them happy. That brought up the question broadly, what do you think is kind of the meaning of life for you?
To live, I say, okay, to live through my spirit, you know what I'm saying? That's what I tend to try to do the most, is because when you get to the point where you can do that, nothing is impossible no more. It's like you don't see no limits, no limitations on the things that you can do or the way you feel about yourself or something like that. But the meaning is just to learn the truth and know the truth, and sometimes that takes, you got to know yourself to know the truth of life. You know what I'm saying? You can't learn what's true and what's false if you don't know who you are inside and out, because you're just getting pulled left and right trying to believe whatever you want to believe, but you got to know yourself to know the real truth. And it's just about, man, doing your job out here and continuing and not giving up and doing what you're supposed to do every day, and finding those things that's out here for you, hunting those things down that's meant for you out here in the world.
Yeah,
you gotta hunt these things down, because everything that you need and everything that you want is already out here for you, and it's already done. You have to just find it and believe it and make it appear into the physical world. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. So when you say living through your spirit, what does that word like spirit mean to you?
It's to me, it's living through Christ. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you can, people say all the time, like that's what it means to be living, to be like having the power and the strength is to live through Christ. Not saying that these people, like a lot of people just think that they are God, but you have to live through God. You know what I'm saying? And instead of trying to take his place. A lot of people try to take his place, and it's like you're going backwards. You can't do that. The mission is to live through him and utilize his power without trying to replace him. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's where they got it fucked up at, because a lot of people trying to replace him and they ain't got no, they can't make shit happen for themselves. As soon as somebody say something bad to them, they mad. As soon as somebody don't feel how they feel, they upset, and they have no control over themselves. But you know what I'm saying? So that's living through your spirit, is living through Christ, and then you're able to do these supernatural things because you're doing it through him. But he gives you the authority to do everything that you need to do. Like, you have the authority to do these things. Like, so whatever you're asking for and praying for, it's your authority to do it. Instead of just asking for him to do it for you. It's like, I've already done it, so you do it. You know what I'm saying? I've already given you the authority to do it, so you have to make these things happen for yourself by knowing that he's already done it for you, instead of begging God to do something for you again.
Yeah.
It's like, he's already done it, so okay, it's your job to find it. Find your answers.
So that answer is making me think of kind of just the value of life. So when I think about that, it kind of it forces me to answer the question of the value of my life. Right. And then it's like, well, talking about value, what do I value? Now, the value of my life related to the things I value.
Yeah.
There's certain things which, and along the topic of this whole conversation, there's certain things which hold more value to me than my own life, you know?
True.
So some of those things are like the people I love, and then like this pursuing what I love.
Yeah.
I would rather die than have to give up either of those, you know?
Yeah.
What are some of those things to you which you value higher than your own life?
I mean, that's the thing. Like, I can't really say I value, like of course my son and my family and stuff like that, and it's like I value them so much that I have to value my own life to value them. Like, I can't I'll say this. I mean, like, I have to value my own life 100% to make it worth. Like, I mean, to give them.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm trying to explain it in a way that, you know what I'm saying. It's hard to explain
what I give them that value.
Yeah, for me to give them the value that they deserve, I have to give myself the best value. I have to. I can't really say I can value them more than my own life, because I have to value my life a little more to give them the best value. So if I'm lacking on my own life, I'm not even loving them like I need to.
Yeah. It's not setting them up right.
So it's kind of got to be
not getting the love.
Equal.
Yeah, they're not getting the example to see.
Yeah.
Son growing up and everything.
Yeah, man, you kind of got to be equal with it. You know what I'm saying? But it's different. Like, different people go through different things, and some people just hold on to different things longer than other people. So it's like, you know, until you can just learn yourself and work those things out in yourself and move on, instead of just feeling like somebody owe you something from the past or something like that.
Yeah.
You really can't help nobody until you get things behind you from the past. That makes sense, you know.
Yeah. So then I have a topic that I want to go into, and there's many questions related to that topic. So when you're talking about valuing yourself to be able to give other people who you love and care about the value that they deserve,
true,
and the 100% from you, related to that topic of kind of giving people value and setting, is like being an example that other people see. Your music career and your personal life, what do you hope that people are getting from you in terms of value?
I hope they see the longevity and the like we said, the hunger to never give up on yourself, and to never let any situation slow you down. You know what I'm saying? Because it's people that's known me from when I started to now, and it's like, to them it's mind blowing how I never quit, when it's like, and they might be in the same place.
Yeah.
But it's like, to them it's like, I hope they can learn, like, to never give up on themselves, and just see that, damn, this dude never quit, because I knew him when he, like, the same way he started, he's still hungry after all these years, and it's like, why would I quit then? He didn't quit. You know what I mean? So that's what I hope they get from it.
Yeah. So, second one, along the lines of that, from the perspective of a viewer,
right,
of your content, your songs, listener. I say viewer because people view my stuff. People listen to your stuff mostly.
Oh, yeah, you know.
Besides music videos, stuff like that. From only that perspective, what do you think, from everything that you've made, somebody would walk away from your stuff thinking? If they had to, like, somebody's like, who is Nick Amari?
I hope they would think, like, I need to put more effort into being more clever, instead of just coming up with the first thing that pops in my brain. Like, how can I make the simplest thing more clever? How can I say it a little bit more clever and put, you know what I mean? So that's what I try to do with my music. Like, first of all, I make the music that I want to hear. I make what I want to listen to, instead of making what I think would be good, like making what I think would pop off or something like that. It's just whatever I want to hear is what I make. And I try to just come up with the cleverest way to say the simplest things. And that's what I want people to learn from. It's like we all can do easy shit, but like how can I do some easy shit and just beef it up a little bit and make it a little more difficult for myself? Like make some easy shit a little more tough. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just being comfortable with everything easy, how can I make this little easy shit a little more strategic?
Interesting. What do you mean by that? Making easy shit tough for yourself and more strategic?
Because it's like it just teaches you that it just makes tough shit easy. When you make easy shit tough, it'll make tough shit easy. You know what I'm saying? Because tough shit don't be no problem when it's no more, because I'm used to it, and it's like I know how to break it down and make it smaller now.
Huh. And is that in regards to
any music and personal life? Like just like when you have different arguments with people or something like that, you know how to either calm them down or just end them or something, you know what I'm saying, or deal with them without having to force your way to be right or something. You know, if you all right, or you know if the other person just ain't gonna hear it, and you know how to just get away from it. Because I don't know, you know,
it's kind of like on the terms of practicing the fundamentals when it's easy, so that when you need those and it's either sink or swim, you have them. That's interesting. There's a lot of ways that relates to making music videos. So for a long time now, I've looked into just end state is I want to be able to make better music videos. You know, I like it more when they're cool. You know, I like it.
Right.
It's cool to see the product. It's fun when I see it working, when I see myself improving. Mm-hmm. One of the steps to that is like making treatments and pitches to artists. So it's, what is this video going to look like? Here's all the logistical concerns. Here's everything that we need to know. Every question that we could have answered before we shoot this. And most of the music videos I've shot, they've been run and gun, where it's just to show up with a speaker, play the song, and shoot. Yeah. And then you edit it, you know? Right, and it's simple. It's easy. That's an easy shot to do. Right. But I did have to, without thinking about it like you did, like you kind of quantified that. Mm-hmm. There's been a lot of times where I feel like I'm like, I feel like that's not good. And I promised myself that I was never going to do a run and gun video again without making a plan and a treatment. Yeah. Because I kind of realized that it was like, in order to reach the goals I want to reach of making the best shit I can make to having my creative visions come true, I need to start practicing that now. And probably failing after I practice it, after I try, fail a bunch, and then eventually succeed a little bit, and steps of progression, Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like when I say make easy shit a little more difficult, like running gunning is easy, but like once you get out there, that's when you make it a little more difficult. It's like, okay, this is easy, but now let me see what else I can add to it to make it a little different than just letting the person just not know. It's like, let me think of something, a treatment on the spot. You know what I'm saying? While we running and gunning. Yeah.
Yeah. Even like you say, making the simple stuff hard and making it have a purpose. And that's still, I like that, because sometimes I'll get caught up if I want to try and take another step to make the simple shit hard. Yeah. I'll kind of equate complex with being hard, to where I'll take something easy and I'll try and make it difficult and do the hard shit for it. And then by that, I'll sometimes get caught up with trying to make the project match that, when maybe my skills and experience don't match that level, Right. And I'm biting off more than I can chew, and it'll end up collapsing one way or another.
Yeah, it's a you got to know what to do that for. Yeah. It's like some things need more and some things need to be basic and easy. So, it's just a a balance of knowing when to do more and when to do the bare minimum.
Yeah. I'm gonna change this camera's battery real quick.
Oh shit.
So, just change the batteries again. You know, we love doing that here. We love changing the batteries for everything and having to pause everything. It's the way it goes. I need to get a battery pack.
Hey.
It's something I always thought about, but the issue never like presented itself crazy to the point where I had to.
Right.
But yeah. So the question I have for you right now is, what do you think is the most valuable knowledge for a young creative to have when they're stuck or they're in like a ditch?
I keep saying the same thing, just never stop it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's the most valuable thing that I can tell you, man, is to never give up. No matter if you're in a ditch, like, because if you never give up, man, you know that you're gonna get out that ditch. So it's like, and never put too much thought into being in the ditch. You know what I'm saying? Act like you're not, even when you are. And that's the only way you can get out of that slump of life.
Yeah.
It's the acknowledge that you are, but you seeing your what you want to do so much that you don't even pay attention to the ditch, to being in that place of life. And that's hard, easier said than done, but if you really want to get out of it, you will.
Yeah. So right before this started, where I made the cut, we were talking a little bit about some upcoming shit you have. So I'm not going to ask about specifics unless there is anything that you specifically do, any specific project or anything that you do want to talk about. But my question is, right now at this stage in your career, moving forward with your work, is there any major or tiny, because tiny steps make up everything. True. What are you kind of focusing on in the day-to-day to like change?
To change?
Yeah.
Like,
or are you even viewing it that way?
You mean like within myself, or all in general, like just...
I was talking in regards to music, but also within yourself.
Well, in regards to music, man, I mean, I don't know. I can't say what I want to change, because I do everything that I just enjoyed it doing. So it's like, I probably need to do more interacting with people, like you say, like, you know, when it comes to probably working with other artists, I probably need to reach out more. I just be so like trying to run my life like a company so much that I don't have time to even do what other people think I should do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right, man. We've been talking for a while. I appreciate all the knowledge you've dropped on us today. It's great.
Yeah, I appreciate
to get a little,
you, man. It's
like insight into your life. You know, first time meeting. Hopefully, we get to meet again.
Of course.
So it's great just to be able to have you drop in and drop all this knowledge.
Yeah, man.
You know,
hey, it's a great island, like I said, man. And you're a great interviewer.
I appreciate it.
This shit has been a magnificent trip for me. So, man, you know, I definitely appreciate your time and your wisdom as well. You know what I'm saying? It's good to talk to people who you can just bounce off of and stuff like that without it being all scripted and dry. Yeah. So, you know, keep up the good work as always, man, and never quit.
Yeah, I appreciate
never stop
you
doing it.
I'm honestly pretty just fucking lucky that on a random ass Saturday morning I can get people coming in here, getting conversations like these. So I really appreciate that.
No problem.
These last few have been crazy. That's awesome.
That's the purpose of life.
Yeah,
is to be able to do these things that you like.
Yeah.
At random times, and see the value of it.
Yeah, man. All right. Well, so the last couple questions I always ask. The first one being, for anybody who might be listening who is driving or can't be on their phone right now for whatever reason, it's not by them, could you say your like social media handles and where to listen to you, everywhere to reach you out loud?
Of course, man. Nick Amari, man, all over the board. You can just put my name in. It's NICAMARI, and my Instagram is at 1 Nick Amari, the number 1 and Nick Amari, and YouTube, put Nick Amari, iTunes, Nick Amari, Spotify. You know, I'm on Facebook a little bit, Nick Amari. Everything is Nick Amari, you know what I'm saying? All over the board, all platforms. So any music, videos, Vivo, anything you want to see, just put my name in and it'll pop up.
Hell yeah. Well, shit, man, thank you so much for your time today. The last question that I always have is, if you had anything last to leave our audience with, what would you leave them with?
Man, live through your spirit, man. Love yourself. Love Christ. Do your best. Give everything your all, and focus on the moment so you don't miss your steps to get to your future. You know what I'm saying? That's the best way to do, and appreciate your past, appreciate your downfalls, appreciate everything, the small things and the big things, and don't get too caught up in the world, and you'll be fine. Nothing is too hard. Keep going.
Easy day. Well, shit, man. Once again, thank you. I hope you enjoy your last couple days here in Hawaii.
Yeah, man. I'm probably gonna slide somewhere, slide to the beach or something later. You know what I mean?
Get some sun out here.
Yeah.
Relax, and then have a safe flight back home, man. Stay
Yes,
safe. Keep doing what you're doing, and excited to see what happens. Everybody, go follow him, support him.
Please do.
Listen to all his music and everything. I promise you're gonna find something that you like, and I promise you're not gonna regret it.
No doubt.
Thank you if you made it this far. That's crazy. If you listen to all of this,
yeah, I hope you did. You know, I hope you learned something, man.
Yeah, I hope you learned something. Stay safe. Drink water. Get out in the sun. Enjoy what you do every day, and love the people around you. Bye.
Peace.
Bet, man. That's awesome. That's a great one.
You know what,
man? Yeah.